I've got a beautiful start for you. The events down the highway today with Frank Costa being farewelled at a state memorial service attended by 2,000 people at Kardinia Park, which, as was mentioned, was probably his second home. And his great mate and his long-term ally, Brian Cook, bestowed the last honour from the club and the ultimate honour to the president who saved them.
Around a month ago, our club board approved the nomination of Frank Costa to the status of legend. Immediately following this decision, I arranged to meet Frank and Shirley at their waterfront apartment in Geelong and explained to them that Frank was to be elevated to this rare status of legend. Frank was absolutely chuffed, being placed on the same level as Doug Wade, Gary Ablett, Charles Brownlow. We agreed that the best date to present the medal to Frank was 12 May. Surrounded by his family at their waterfront apartment, we've all kept that promise, Frank, albeit settled on a much larger venue. Frank's second home, let's say. I think Frank would have loved this. We've had 1,710 players and officials who've represented our club at a senior level. Of this group, only 25 have been awarded the status of legend. Today, we induct the 26th legend, Frank Costa. This elevation is the very first time in the long history of the club that a pure administrator has been honoured in this way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am honoured and proud to announce the induction of Frank Costa into the Geelong Football Club as legend. Our club president, Craig Drummond, will now walk over to where Shirley Costa is seated to present her with Frank's Legends Medal.
So everyone who knew Frank, this struck me as absolutely perfect. In the mood which naturally lends itself to mourning, to gather 2,000 people in the stands at that ground, which he's masterminded the redevelopment of, and then to see the presentation of the spoils that he gave the club the opportunity to achieve with the legendary figures themselves. So the 26th legend of the club, Frank Costa.
He was 150 odd years old, the Geelong Football Club, one of the originals. Great history through the 1880s and through the next century, and we know what sort of a powerhouse the Cats have been under Frank. I've read a lot about Frank and heard a lot about Frank in the last word, and when you pass away, some people think, what would you like people to say about you? He's wholly liked and wholly respected. And if you pass after 70-odd years and people say you are one of the most respected people we've met in our lives, I mean, that's a cherished word. We throw it around a little bit when you say he's a respected footballer. He's been a deeply and is a deeply respected person.
Yep.
And that's the nicest thing I think you can say about someone.
He'll never be forgotten in those corridors and at that arena, that's for sure.